Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a question which relates to both myopia and astigmatism. So let's dive into it. So this was from podcast number 4, a comment underneath which said, "Thanks for sharing. I have an astigmatism on my left eye. It feels like this stops me achieving active focus. Something that appears blurry due to double vision from a distance still has double vision up close, despite me only being somewhere between -5 and -2. Do you have any tips for that? It always feels like the left one lags behind and the right one takes over. Thank you." It's very hard to comment on specific prescriptions without knowing more details than this. I don't know your SPH value and your CYL cylinder value, which is astigmatism, as you know. And you're talking about, despite you being between -1.5 and -2, I am assuming that you're meaning SPH, as in your myopia value there. Now you've mentioned you have astigmatism in the left eye, but it feels like you still have double vision when you get up close. Ordinarily, astigmatism is more present when you're looking into the distance for close-up things, especially if the prescription is below -2, -1.5 in CYL. Then it's usually, the astigmatism usually diminishes as you are looking at images closer. And it's also very important to note when we're talking about astigmatism, I am talking about lens-induced astigmatism. That is a thing that you get. It's like a symptom that is similar to astigmatism. That's to say, the double vision. So you have a main image and then a ghost image that's beside it. So it's the same symptom as genuine astigmatism. However, it's brought about by wearing glasses for myopia. So in my case, I never had astigmatism. I wore glasses for myopia, and after about 10 years of doing so, the optician started to introduce astigmatism into my correction, and then I noticed when I started researching all this stuff that when I took my glasses off, that I did have a ghost image that was never there before. So that is lens-induced myopia. That is lens-induced astigmatism. The genuine and real astigmatism is a genetic condition that is much less prevalent within the population, but it's something that you're born with, and as a result it's going to be present from your early years. So if you're somebody that could see clearly, in your early years of life, then it's very likely that any symptoms of astigmatism you may have could have been brought about by wearing glasses that are for myopia. So that was my case. I started wearing glasses when I was 13. I didn't have any symptoms of astigmatism before that time. So that's just something to note. So if you're talking about your astigmatism, is it that type of astigmatism? If it's genuine astigmatism, then I'm afraid I can't really help you on that one, because as far as we know, that isn't a solvable condition. But in terms of lens-induced astigmatism, going back to my case where I had the ghost image and double vision, I noticed that by improving my SPH, it also helped to remove the astigmatism. So I did a combination of doing active focus to improve my SPH, my myopia, and then doing exercises like I have in the video called How I Fixed My Astigmatism, where you're trying to fuse images together when you have a ghost image. In your question, you're saying that you feel like this left eye is stopping you from achieving active focus, and that the left eye lags behind the right one and the right one takes over. In this case, I'm not sure if you've tried this, you haven't said it in the question, but it's definitely worth mentioning as well that you should try some patching. So patch the right eye, which seems to be the stronger one and that's taking over, and do some time practicing active focus and astigmatism exercises with your left eye. So what would that look like? You can start by practicing on the eye chart, I recommend, and try to tune in to if it is actually myopia or lens-induced astigmatism. So building on what I discussed earlier on in this podcast, see if you've got that double vision when you look at the eye chart from 20 feet. Pick a line on the eye chart, go to 20 feet and see if you've got the double vision. Walk closer to the eye chart and see if that double vision disappears. If that's disappearing, then that's good. It means that it is a lens-induced astigmatism symptom, and then you can work on, you can work on going back at a distance and doing that fusing exercise that I talk about in the video, how I fixed my astigmatism. And then if you go a little bit closer to where the image is fused but you still have a myopic blur, then you can practice active focus on that. So doing those two things in combination on just the left eye in this case, as that's the more challenging eye for you, should hopefully yield some results. So do some practice with that every day, and hopefully you see some progress. So yeah, I'd be grateful if you let me know how that goes, and best of luck with that. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next episode.